One of the best things about visiting Barcelona in the winter is that it's low season. There's less people here, and while the temperatures have dropped as well, you've still got some incredibly sunny days. But what are the activities and events that you need to know if you're coming over to Barcelona in December, January, or February? Without further ado, here's my winter guide for Barcelona. The best thing about coming over to Barcelona during the winter, especially at the beginning, is that Christmas season. While the lights are going up in October, they're not fully turned on until November. All through December and into January, this place looks absolutely incredible. And one thing that I recommend is always getting around and checking out all the different lights for that Christmas cheer. One of the best things you can do to see all of those lights is jumping on the Barcelona Bus Turístic. It's going to take you all around on its special Christmas tour. Each night you can get around to the entire city seeing all the different patterns and lights, and each street has a different pattern. It's really good to see. You should definitely check it out. And the other thing that you can do in the evening is go over to the Hospital de Sant Pau, right next to the Sagrada Familia, and check out the Llums de Sant Pau. An incredibly modernist hospital that's colorful on its own during the day is all lit up at night, and it's something that you'll want to check out if you're here. Make sure you get online and make those reservations. And if you're here in December, you've got all the Christmas markets set up. In Barcelona, there's two major Christmas markets, and we're right outside of the cathedral at the Santa Lucia Christmas Market, which is the oldest running one in Barcelona and been set up since 1786. Because there's so many things being sold over here, they had to set up another site in front of the Sagrada Familia. So definitely make your way over and check that out as well. But what you've got here are all the different decorations for things that you can buy to celebrate Christmas at home. Remember, compared to those Northern European Christmas markets, it's not about food or anything like that. So come on over and check out two of the most famous Catalan Christmas traditions that we'll talk about right now. And one of those traditions is the cagatillo. It's something that only happens over here in Catalonia, and it's this log with a little face, and it's got a blanket covering the back end. Now the kids are gonna feed this log every day throughout the month of December, and on the 24th, they're gonna take out a stick and they're gonna sing a song that basically translates to cagatillo, cagatillo, poop me some presents. Poop me some good presents, not those sardines, maybe some nice bombones, some chocolate candies. And when they hit the log with this stick, out of the back, where the blanket is covering up the butt, they're gonna get some nice presents. And the other Catalan Christmas tradition that you're gonna find all over the markets and now all over the old city, because they have all these different stores, is the caganer, the pooper. It's an extra figure that we have in the manger scene. Well, most of these shops you find around the markets are gonna be selling things for the manger. The caganer goes in the back. And you can see right here, taking a little poop. The idea is that you get good luck after fertilizing the soil, and if you have one in your house at this time of the year, you're gonna get good luck going into the next. You can see this is the most traditional caganer that they have, but they've got characters from all over. Politicians, sports figures, famous figures from all of our comic book loves, and you've also got some people that have made it big, and you know you've made it big if you've got your own caganer. One of my objectives right now is to be able to get the Patrick Guide Barcelona caganer. Leave a comment below if you think I should. And right in the middle of that Christmas season, we've got the New Year's Eve celebration. If you're here in Barcelona at that time, don't worry, there's plenty to do all around with bars and clubs that are gonna be open. But don't be surprised if you don't find too many locals out before midnight. Most of us are gonna celebrate at home with our families eating those 12 grapes. And if you don't know what that tradition is all about, remember to check out my video all about it. One of the other things that you need to do is you need to wear something red, usually underwear or something like this that'll give you some good luck. It's another one of those Spanish traditions. If you don't want to go out to those bars and clubs and find them almost empty at that time, head on over to Plaza España or even over to the Pobla Español, which are going to be having two huge New Year's Eve celebrations that'll get you a little bit more into that spirit. And remember that Christmas season here lasts until January 6th. While Santa Claus is getting more and more popular, the gifts are really given out on that day, celebrating the Epiphany and the arrival of the Three Kings. The night before, you've got the Three Kings parade coming from the port and going all over the city. So get over to the Via Laietana to check out that parade. And when people come over to Barcelona, they're always asking about that hot chocolate. Normally, the weather's too warm to be trying that out, but now that the weather's finally dropped, it's time to take advantage. Get on over to Calle Petrichol or the Chocolate Street, where you've got some great old school bars that have that hot chocolate, churros, melindros, and everything. We're right over here at the Payaresa. Let's go check it out. Gracias. Remember that hot chocolate is not a Swiss Miss. It's not something to drink, and it's not something you just eat for a dessert or something. It's a breakfast or maybe even a snack food. You're definitely gonna need a spoon to finish it all off. One thing that you can do is dip something in. Churros are really popular, and we'll go somewhere else and try those out a little bit later. But one thing that you can do is check out a melindro. It's like a little cookie. You can dip on in and have a chocolate. And so those churros, come on over to Banj Nose. You've got the churreria right here. One of the great things is you can get them to go. Walk around, see the rest of Barcelona while enjoying a nice little treat. And with that drop in temperatures, you might want to head inside to stay a little bit warmer during these months. Fortunately, Barcelona's got its pick of museums, like right here at the Picasso Museum. One of the things that I always recommend is checking out the art ticket, which will give you 6 different museum entrances for a price of about 35 euros. Great deals on those entrance prices. One of the greatest things about Barcelona are all the different neighborhood festivals. In the winter, there don't tend to be as many of them. The first one to kick off the entire year is over in the Sant Antoni neighborhood in January. Check out my January guide specifically to find out what to do during that festival. But the one that's all around the city is the Santa Eulàlia festivals, February 12th. You've got the patron saint of all of Barcelona being celebrated, and I've already done some videos going into the legend and what she means to the city, but it's a lot of fun, and it usually turns into that entire weekend. Get over to the Gothic Quarter, and you'll find all sorts of activities throughout. And the big winter festival here in Barcelona is Carnaval, a week of mayhem going back to those Middle Ages, celebrating and doing anything you wanted before those strict weeks of Lent arrive. Over here, the King Carnestoteles comes over and starts off all of those events right over here on La Rambla, making their way up. Throughout the week, what you're gonna see is a lot of different costumes for all the kids, especially going to school. And while it's not all over the city, one of the best places you can go to celebrate Carnaval is not too far from Barcelona. About 40 minutes south, you've got Sitges. Get over there and they have a huge festival going on all throughout the week. And one of the big winter activities that you can take advantage of if you're over here in Barcelona is going and skiing. While there's no slopes inside the city, just on the outside in the rest of Catalonia, you've got all sorts of different options. Did you know that Barcelona, along with all of Catalonia, was trying to get the Winter Olympics for 2030? Get on over and try out those slopes like La Molina or La Marsella. You've got some of the best slopes in the entire country. One of the other things you can do is head on over to Andorra and check out some of the best slopes all around. I don't know if I recommend a full day trip. You might need a little bit more time, but if you're looking to ski, that's a thing to do. They've got all sorts of different packages leaving from Barcelona for weekend trips over to Andorra. And if you don't have that time to get out of the city and go skiing, one of the other winter activities is ice skating. Right over here at the Plaza Catalunya is where we used to come over and ice skate, but now one of your best options is going to be over at La Maquinista Mall or even up on Tibidabo, giving you some of the best views of the city. It's 5 euros to go skating, or with your entrance into the park, ice skating is included. So definitely go check that out. And when we're traveling around, one of the best things is trying out all the local foods. And if you're traveling to Barcelona in the winter, you're here for calçot season. These are small little baby spring onions that are charred and then dipped inside a little romesco sauce. Usually it's part of a bigger barbecue with all sorts of breads and tomato with all sorts of meats as well. And it becomes an incredibly fun time, a messy experience, but a great excuse to get with your friends and meet together. If you're over here during the winter, you can try to meet up and have one of those barbecues just on the outside of the city, or you can go to any of the local restaurants that are going to have them on their menu. A lot of times it's all you can eat calçots. While those lights get taken down after the holiday season, if you're not fortunate to be here during those times and you're over here at the beginning of February, you've got the Poblenou Light Show, where they've got some of those big buildings, some of those old factories and historic places that are all lit up all around the neighborhood. Something that's definitely worth checking out. Remember, this video is just a winter guide for specific things that you can do if you're here in Barcelona. But for an overview of the best activities you have throughout the city at any time of the year, download my free guide to Barcelona.